the rights of society, bringing this idea of the forbidden fruit. If you forbid the fruit from the tree, then you will want it more. But then we ask you, isn't that undermining society? Thinking that just because something is criminalized, you will want it more? The proposition certainly believes so. But now, let's look at the main ideas that have happened throughout the debate, centered on three main clashes. The first one, the undermining of society, with this idea of the forbidden fruit. The second one, let's protect the Jewish population. And the third one, simply free speech. So let's look at the first clash, which is the undermining of society. The opposition has repeated time and time again that people need the right to choose and the freedom of expression. But we tackle that by telling you that what Holocaust now promotes is not freedom of expression, ladies and gentlemen. What they are doing is providing false information, and that this can lead to affect unimpressionable minds. They're producing a movement that has violence, that has discrimination, that is inciting hatred. So we fail to see how this in any way is free speech, because we all know that when your right interferes with another person's right, that's where it ends, ladies and gentlemen. So that is not a violation of free speech. They say that everybody learned in textbooks that the Holocaust occurred, so there's really no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, does a majority of the population really have a textbook? Did everybody in this world really go to elementary school, middle school, or high school? No, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't. And these impressionable minds, just like it happened with Hitler Youth, he managed to convince them because they were young and had impressionable minds. This can happen with Holocaust denial, and that's exactly what's happening. And that is why the neo-Nazi movements are gaining more popularity nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. And because it incites this hatred, that is why we should ban Holocaust denial. So you are, in fact, undermining society by believing that if you criminalize it, oh, everybody will suddenly will want to join. Now let's look at the second clash, which is let's protect the Jewish people. This is perhaps the most important and essential part of the debate. They believe that by criminalizing, we're going to bring more crime. So they're taking this approach of let's not criminalize anything out of the fear that by doing so, there will be more violence. So should we not criminalize murder because, oh, that might incite some more murder, ladies and gentlemen? Clearly not. The harm is already being done, and the way to tackle it is by its roots. And what is the root of neo-Nazi violence? The Holocaust denial movement, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not, in fact, counterproductive, because the motive is already there. If you criminalize it, the motive is not going to grow because there already is a motive. There already is violence. So how do we deal with it? By actually tackling, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's look at the point of, if you make it illegal, that we have brought about a plan that is failing to say how we are going to make sure that it's implemented. But we don't wish today to go into the specific legal system of every country. We told you that this motion is whether it should be criminalized, and it should for the reason that we told you, because it promotes violence, injustice, and all of these negative ideas. Now the final clash is free speech. They say that you cannot ban free speech, ladies and gentlemen. But we've told you that this is in fact not free speech, but actually a crime in itself. They want to bring light. They think that by having free speech, you're bringing light to the Holocaust denial movement and how it's wrong. But how do you bring the light that you want to shed upon this issue? By criminalizing it. Because it brings light to the fact that it is wrong and that it promotes negative ideals, ladies and gentlemen. That is why we believe the Holocaust denial must be a crime, as we have shown you throughout our case. There is a necessity to criminalize this movement because it lies in the need to establish the gravity of the problem, as we have shown you, and to stop and to prevent this breeding of extremism and of violence, ladies and gentlemen. Because if we truly want to protect the population, if we truly want to tackle the problem at its roots, we must not allow the Holocaust denial movement to exist today.